Jim did not
proceed with caution.
Naomi's gone away for 9 months, plus some. Vacates the Women's World Championship as she announces her pregnancy tonight. Something that I think a lot of us had all speculated. We'll talk about it. They saved all the juicy details for after Raw on a special episode of Stephanie McMahon's podcast. WWE Tonight was in Philadelphia, man. You know those 4 straight weeks of no DQ? Or actually DQ endings. Tonight they went no DQ because we all complained about the last 4 weeks of being disqualifications ending Monday Night Raw. Sure thing, Paul. Sure thing. And Clash in Paris is looking like a banger. What are we doing with that Women's Championship, though? We'll talk about it tonight. On the Monday Night Raw post, I'm going to the beer garden, man. It was a cool, crisp 69 degrees this evening. Starting to feel like fall already, bro. I'm not ready yet. But I'll tell you what I am ready for, a cold one. And I want to know on this Monday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for August 18th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Monday evenings, wherever you may be. Monday Night Raw tonight from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As Paul Heyman, I'm sure, very purposely said, we're not in the 2300 arena tonight. That's nothing more than a glorified bingo hall. Which, funny enough, that's where AEW will be having a residency next month. Not here to talk about that. Not here to talk about AEW. Naomi tonight. The big talk of the town. She was absent from last week's show. And a lot of people started speculating what was wrong. Is there an injury? Is there an illness? I know there was a social media clip floating around where she was riding her mobile luggage and she had run over a little bump in the road. And a lot of people were maybe thinking that she's injured because of a luggage accident. That is not anywhere close to being the case. And they saved it right before the main event tonight with Jey Uso and Braun Breaker, who wrestled one-on-one in an Extreme Rules match. WWE gave Naomi the floor with the Women's Championship. And tonight she announced that she will be vacating that championship. And she is with child. She is pregnant. Big Jim, obviously, did not proceed with caution. And we have a little baby Oos in the making. And another member of the bloodline will be coming in the next 9 months as Naomi is stepping away right now for the time being. And she has to go away for a little bit. We'll talk about some of the important stuff that came out on the Stephanie McMahon podcast. What's your story with Stephanie McMahon? Or is that the name of it? I don't know what's your story with Stephanie McMahon? Cody's is, what do you want to talk about? Really creative names you got over there. Fanatics and WWE. We'll save all the details from when we get to that particular segment in tonight's show. Because there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff that they talked about on that particular podcast, which dropped tonight after Monday Night Raw. If you guys want to go listen to it at some point this evening after you're done here, it is about 20 minutes long. They really played it up. Everybody, and you got to give WWE credit, man. Everybody with the speculation, seeing that Naomi and Jimmy Uso were on Stephanie McMahon's podcast last week, they all tuned in to see if they were going to announce that pregnancy. They did not. So it drove traffic to Stephanie McMahon's podcast, and then they uploaded a special 20-minute episode tonight after Monday Night Raw where they announced that they are with child, they are pregnant, and she will be vacating the championship. So, I mean, it's a good business move, I guess, to get more eyes and more ears on Stephanie McMahon's podcast, but I like the way that they kind of put them on the show. They were guests on the show. Everybody thought they were going to announce it. They didn't, and then they dropped the news tonight after Monday Night Raw. Obviously, the big discussion is, what do we do with the Women's World Championship now that Naomi has to vacate the title? And my answer to that question is, I don't know. I don't know. WWE has an absolutely stacked Monday Night Raw women's roster. You could give the championship to anybody on that show, and it would be great. I don't know where they go. I thought that they would probably do Io versus Stephanie again, and the winner, just keep it simple. Io versus Stephanie, inject it into my fucking blood, go out there and go 20 minutes, give them a banger in Paris, and then crown new champion that way. It's a little bit too simple and a little bit too easy. That's the easy thing to do. WWE's got a lot of women on Monday night. Rhea, Roxanne, Stephanie, Bayley, Lyra, Asuka, Kairi. There's just a lot of women on Monday night that you could easily slot into that World Championship title picture and crown the new Women's World Champion. My first instinct is to say, let's go back to Io. Let's go back to Io. She's obviously the best in-ring talent, not only for the women. She may be the best in-ring talent that WWE has right now, period. Out of the men and the women. I've always said, if you are the best at what you do, and you're on that roster, you're the best at what you do, you should be the world champion. There are other factors that are going to come into play, obviously. But I think Io has absolutely killed everything that she's been in. Match of the year candidates up and down this year. She doesn't have a bad match. She brought Raquel Rodriguez to a very good TV match tonight. The woman could do it all. There's not one person who dislikes what Io brings to the table. Obviously, you got Stephanie Vacate. I'm not giving the title to Stephanie Vacate. How many appearances has Stephanie made on Monday Night Raw since she got called up to the main roster? Honestly. Has she even wrestled since the Battle Royal at Evolution? I don't think she's wrestled. She might have wrestled in a 6-woman tag team match, and that was basically it. But there were other women, other stars sharing that spotlight alongside her. She wasn't the one and only in that match. She teamed with Io and Rhea, I believe. Or Nikki Bella and Rhea. I'm not giving the title to Stephanie because she's an unproven commodity on the show. Fans don't know her. They do, but they don't. She's still new to the WWE, especially on the main roster. You need to build up fan trust. You need to wait for that moment. To give Stephanie the championship, all because she's the hot hand and she's beautiful and she's this and she's that and she's got a great social media presence, it is way, way too soon to give Stephanie the championship. Way too soon. You could go Bayley. You can slot Bayley into that role, take over the heel spot, which I believe we all see where that's going with Bayley. We could see that she's turning heel. I don't know what type of character she's going to be playing. She may be playing some split personality. She might be WWE Raw's version of Harvey Dent. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But a heel Bayley is good for business. They're losing Naomi. They obviously need another solid number 2 heel on Monday night outside Becky Lynch. Bayley could be that woman. I don't know if WWE is even going to put Bayley in title contention as we get into Clash in Paris. There will be a match that determines a champion at some point between now and then. Bayley may be not ready for that role yet. Asuka, Kairi, obviously Rhea. I mean, I'm not giving the title back to Rhea. Rhea is doing just fine without the championship. I think her and Io teaming up against Asuka and Kairi is the next direction. I like what's being built there. I am not putting the belt on Rhea Ripley just because she's Rhea Ripley. I'm not doing that. So what we can do here is come to the conclusion of Rhea no, Stephanie no, Io no, Bayley no, Lyra no, Raquel Rodriguez no, Natalya no, Nikki Bella no, Becky Lynch no. If I had my way and I had the pen, I'm putting the belt on Roxanne Perez. That's your hot take for tonight. If I had the pen, I'm putting the belt on Roxanne Perez. That's what I'm doing. Not only has Roxanne Perez absolutely killed it, she has solidified herself, clearly, from what we see, as, what does she call herself, chat? The prodigy? I think building Roxanne Perez up with that women's championship would not only add a much-needed dose of adrenaline to the Judgment Day, I'm thinking about when Liv Morgan gets back. Everything that you do right now, everybody that you're probably thinking of outside Roxanne Perez is putting the belt on someone for the sake of putting the belt on someone. I'm putting the belt on Roxanne Perez because when Roxanne Perez is the champion and Liv Morgan comes back, what does that do for the Women's World Championship, chat? It automatically puts the belt and automatically puts Roxanne Perez in a long-term storyline. You start planting the seeds and you start building to that now. That's what I would do. Everybody else is just because they are your favorite and it's easy to pick anybody out of the leagues of women that I gave you. Roxanne Perez is the best choice, in my opinion, for the women's championship now. That's what I would do. Take a chance. Take a chance. Everybody else is just more of the same, and you're going back to your safe space. Everybody else that you may be thinking of as far as Stephanie, too new. I'm putting it on Roxanne Perez. And I start building to when Liv gets back, and they do Liv versus Roxanne Perez. When, where, I don't know, but I'm putting the belt on Roxanne Perez. At least you would know the belt would be in good hands. The belt would be in story. The Judgment Day could use it, and Roxanne Perez is going to deliver exactly what you need as far as a women's world champion. That's my hot take for tonight. Now, Roxanne is not too soon. Anybody that's saying Roxanne is too soon, clearly you just started watching the show yesterday. No, it's not too soon. What's too soon? What's too soon? She's been in the ring with all of the major names on the roster. What's too soon? No, it's not too soon. You know what she can do. You know that she's in the Judgment Day, so she's automatically going to get heat standing next to Dominik and Finn Balor and JD McDonough. It's not too soon. Too soon means that you just started watching the show last week. You might not even know who Roxanne Perez is. It is not too soon. I'm going with Roxanne Perez. WWE came under fire last week for 4 straight Monday Night Raws that ended in a disqualification. The last time we got a clean victory was a gauntlet match won by CM Punk, where he won the right to wrestle Gunther at SummerSlam in the main event of Night 1. Every single week since then, Monday Night Raw has ended in a disqualification. Clearly, somebody in WWE heard and said, all right, they don't like that we ended the show the same way with a disqualification 4 straight weeks. We'll show them. So tonight in Philadelphia, they gave themselves an easy out and booked a main event between Braun Breaker and Jey Uso in Philadelphia and made it an Extreme Rules match. So we basically got everything that we got over the last 4 weeks, but WWE made it all legal. So we couldn't complain about it. Meanwhile, I will complain about it because it is virtually the same ending that we got 2 weeks ago when Roman Reigns came back to save the day. The only difference is he was allowed to do it during the match instead of doing it after the match. WWE's attention to detail is lacking in 2025. There's nothing really exciting going on in the main event. Sure, it made sense. Sure, it set up Clash in Paris. But man, oh man, the endings to these shows just leave so much to be desired. Honestly. It's the same shit every single week. Every week. WWE has the benefit now of going to the United Kingdom and to Dublin this coming week. So the crowds are going to be better. Hopefully the shows are going to be a little bit more exciting. I can't really sit here and tell you that the way Monday Night Raw went off the air really tickled my excitement or tickled me with excitement. It's the same shit every single week. Roman Reigns came back. He delivered a spear to Braun Breaker, and he Superman punched Bronson Reed, and he saved Jey Uso from a beatdown as Jey Uso beat Braun Breaker, and then they teased, which ultimately means confirmed in this case. Roman Reigns is coming back for his Shula Fala, and he's going one-on-one with Bronson Reed at Clash in Paris. Great. We all saw where that was going. Penta wrestled Xavier Woods. I don't know what the point of all of this is. We had AAA stars on the show tonight. Vikingo, the AAA Mega Champion, was on the show tonight, as he and Dominik Mysterio were just announced for September 12th. Worlds collide between WWE and AAA once again. Mr. Iguana was on the show tonight, teaming with Dragon Lee against the Judgment Day. And obviously, we got more news on Naomi announcing her pregnancy with Big Jim. Tonight, we will go over all of the details that were leaked tonight from Stephanie McMahon's podcast. And we'll go over what she said on that episode, which airs tonight after Monday Night Raw. We'll go over it all tonight. Thank you so very much for joining me here on your Monday night. This is the Monday Night Raw post show right here on Off the Script. It is your Monday, August 18th, 2025. We're having a great August, chat. We're having a great August. Friday, a lot of you said that what I uploaded in regards to the TNA new TV rights negotiations landing on the WWE network and going head-to-head with AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. There were a lot of you that reached out in the comments section of that video, in my DMs, that said that that was my best video of the entire year. And I would have to agree. I was on something else when I recorded that video. We did the same thing again today with Karrion Kross, and we went over some of the very, very key details in his sit-down interview with Ariel Helwani, which aired late last week. I didn't do anything this weekend because I wanted to take a step back and just rest. But I uploaded it today. Also, another great video. So if you guys missed the last couple of extras that we uploaded on the channel, I mean, go check that stuff out, man. Well worth your time. Well worth your time. And we got more tonight. Brand new week begins. We'll go into tomorrow, where you guys know the main event every single week, man. Tuesday Night Titans with the Solid Monster. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow, as we usually do. So join us then tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. The best pro wrestling discussion in the entire space, and there's not anyone that's even remotely close to what we do on Tuesday nights. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go check out that content. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. And tonight's show is sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. All you guys need to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. WWE fears Chris Jericho. AEW contract expiring. Jericho will be back in the WWE. No questions about it. He will be in the Royal Rumble. Making my prediction right now. We'll talk about that tomorrow as well. Let's get into this Monday Night Raw. You know, I really wish that they'd start this show off differently. It is so basic and so formulaic that every single week, on cue, you could probably predict what's going to open the show. Some form of division, whether it's Rollins and Heyman, or Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman without Seth Rollins. Tonight, it was all four of them. Seth Rollins' music played as The Vision came out to ringside. Fatal 4-Way is confirmed, as it was announced last week. It will be Seth Rollins, LA Knight, CM Punk, and Yeet in a Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Heyman said in Philadelphia he's not in God mode, but rather I am God. I don't think anybody is arguing with what Paul Heyman said here in Philadelphia. He said he is the GOAT after everything he has done for Philadelphia on camera and behind the scenes. He said there should be a statue of him because of everything he's done. He said the ring is filled with GOATs. Braun Breaker is the future of WrestleMania. And he is the big dog who taught Roman Reigns to fear the spear. He then discussed Bronson Reed, calling him the Shulafala and the tribal thief. He said he put Roman Reigns down to the point where he did not get back up. He even called the tsunami the Shunami. He took Roman Reigns out with the Shunami. Well, they're really running that gimmick into the fucking ground, huh? Very short-lived gimmick where Roman Reigns will battle Bronson Reed at Clash in Paris and ultimately get his Shula Fala back. OTC chants started to ring out in Philadelphia. Heyman then said they're not chanting OTC to the rest of the division. They're chanting Paul E, Paul E, which in turn led to the fans chanting Paul E, Paul E. Heyman then turned to Seth and said he is the visionary who put this group together, and he deserves more credit than I do. He said he has defeated Roman Reigns twice in the main event of WrestleMania. As Seth was about to speak, we got Jey Uso yeeting his way in the crowd down to ringside, but he stopped in the aisleway. He held the microphone up to some kids as they said, yeet, which I find to be very risky. Even with children that age, you don't know what's going to come out of their mouth. He gave a live mic, a hot mic, to fans who clearly were not plants. He says he's tired of hearing everyone in the ring talk. He says he's tired of hearing them threaten his family. He says he's next, meaning Seth. He says he's tapped out Gunther to become the world champion. He said Braun Breaker's pretending he can't hear him, but he's messing with the main event tonight on Raw. Seth then asked Breaker in the ring if he just heard what he said about him. Seth said Jey thinks he's better than you, and he could beat you tonight in the main event. He says he's the better athlete who's faster and stronger than you. He says he can bench press more than you. He thinks his family is more important than your family. He said he thinks your father is stupid and your uncle is a moron. And he said your family is nothing more than a bunch of fat asses. Seth is clearly getting Braun Breaker angry so that he feasts in the main event on Jey Uso. Seth is manipulating Breaker to get all worked up. Breaker yelled at Jey, "Screw you!" Heyman asked if he's really trying to pull that on the Vision in Philadelphia. He said a long time ago in a bingo hall not far away, you know, that bingo hall where AEW is taking up residency for the next 2 weeks because they are incapable of selling tickets in the United States for their weekly Dynamite tapings. Gotta love it. They got no problem selling 17,000 tickets over at the O2 in London for Forbidden Door, but they struggle to sell 1,500 tickets here in the United States. Something does not compute. He said a long time ago in a bingo hall not so far away, men would settle their grievances inside the ring, as we got a light ECW chant. He says they'd settle differences in a no DQ match, no count out, no DQ, where you could only win by submission or pinfall. He cited Sandman, Rob Van Dam, Sabu, the Dudleys, and Tommy Dreamer. He called Tommy Dreamer the late great. And then he joked that he isn't dead yet, but I think he should be. Breaker sounded shocked he was still alive. He looked into Heyman's eyes, and away from the microphone, you could audibly hear Braun Breaker. He's still alive? Yes. Yes, Tommy Dreamer is very much still alive, as he is a co-host on Busted Open Radio with Dave LaGreca. So, Jey Uso interrupted and said the only rules he needs tonight are extreme rules. Outside of being more of the same in this opening segment, I was very entertained by Paul Heyman. I am always entertained by Paul Heyman in Philadelphia. He's just on another level. He's just got another just octave in his voice when he's in Philadelphia. Because the city means a lot to him. And the people look at Paul Heyman and they look at him as a legit fucking legend. which exactly that's what Paul Heyman is. He's a fucking legend, not only in Philadelphia, in general, in life, in this thing called pro wrestling. He's a fucking legend. I really wish WWE would do more with these segments. I really do. Maybe start to show off in a different way. Start to show off with something else on the show. Are there no other conflicts on the show? Like, we're getting to a point, and I don't want to be nitpicky, but I have to, because it's just something that recurs every single week. The show starts the same. The show ends the same. I really wish that they would start these shows a little bit different from time to time. Not all the time, but sometimes I would like to see something else open the show. WWE, I don't know what they're planning to do. It almost sounds like, it almost feels like that they truly have no vision. And it's funny that that's the name of the group, The Vision. It almost feels like WWE has no vision as to where we're going here. Like, you could see all the pieces lining up and who is battling alongside each other on the babyface side and who's on the heel side. WWE almost comes off as if they have no vision for this group. What is their mission? What do they want? What is their ultimate goal on Monday night? It's the same thing every week. Put down the baby faces, rinse and repeat going into the next week. Some weeks they don't get the advantage over the baby faces, and some weeks the baby faces stand tall. Ultimately, it's good guys versus bad guys. What is the end goal? It's as if you're writing a movie script. You got a beginning, a middle, and an end. The heel, the villain in the movie, obviously is set out to do something. What is it? Rollins won the World Heavyweight Championship. That can't be the only thing on his fucking plate. Winning the World Heavyweight Championship couldn't have been the ultimate end goal for him. He was going to do it well into this group's life cycle, with so much more still to come. What is the next ultimate goal for this group? Or is it just vanquishing the baby faces, getting rid of LA Knight and Jey Uso and CM Punk and Roman Reigns? Is that how linear our creative has gotten? Is that as simple as the creative team is going to operate? What else is this group on the show for? What do they want? What else do they want to achieve outside of bringing the World Heavyweight Championship to Seth Rollins, which was already done at SummerSlam on night 2? See, that's the stuff that I look for. That's the stuff that I look for. Outside that, show started the same promo. Heyman hyping up Braun Breaker as a WrestleMania main eventer. The Shula Fala, the Tribal Thief, the Tsunami in Bronson Reed. They now added another shoe pun to his character. That was the only difference for tonight, as far as this segment is concerned. Jey Uso comes down, he yeets, he lets some little kids yeet with him. They make a main event. It's an Extreme Rules match because they're in Philadelphia. And they get away with not having 5 straight weeks of disqualification fuck finishes on the Monday Night Raw show in the main event. Now they're allowed to do it because it's no rules. This show sometimes gives you fucking agita, bro. It gives you fucking... There's just no life. There's no life to these segments, bro. You could sit there and make ECW references all you want because you're in Philadelphia. You could drop ECW legends in your promo and get cheap pops for it. You can pay homage to Sabu all you want and New Jack all you want. You can have Braun Breaker run down fucking funny things he says about the fucking fat slobs in the crowd and Jey Uso. I'm going to need more than that, bro. It's gotten to a point where it's not even entertaining anymore. It's not funny anymore. Like, I'm at a point, I just want to be coddled with story. I want story, bro. Give me a mission. Give me an end goal. What is it? What is it? You won the world championship. Great. What's next? What's next? Are we adding a new member? Austin Theory. I still think Austin Theory is joining the group. I think we may see him in Paris, if anything. They need an end goal. They need an end goal. It's the same shit every single week. And it's just tiresome. It really is just tiresome. They showed a clip of Asuka offering to be Io's friend and in Io's corner last week. But Sky told her no thank you. And then Asuka and Kairi came out anyway, leading to a distraction that opened up Roxanne Perez to roll up Io and get a win last week. Then they showed Sky distraught, yelling at Asuka, Asuka shoving her and storming off. That was the last we saw of Asuka and Io. Backstage tonight, Io was warming up, and in walks Asuka and Kairi Sane. Asuka apologized for her last week. Asuka said she'll always have her back. Io said she appreciates that, but she needs to do this tonight on her own. They smiled, they all high-fived. Everything looks to be good to go for all three of these ladies. Former Damage Control. Great. Opening match here, Io, Raquel Rodriguez out there with Roxanne Perez. This was actually very good, man. Raquel Rodriguez is becoming a solid female in that division. And she's doing probably the best work of her entire WWE main roster run on, honestly. I think so. So we'll pick it up here. We go right to a commercial break. Before the commercial break, Rodriguez used a Roxanne Perez distraction on the outside where she tried to trip up Io running the ropes. Rodriguez used this distraction because she turns around at Io right into a big boot. And they go into a commercial break. So we go into a break. We come back from the break. Io came back and she dropped an elbow drop. Sky hits a missile drop kick. Io went for what she calls the bullet train, which is her running Meteora in the corner. Rodriguez caught her and hit a Samoan drop. She goes up top, follows that up with a corkscrew elbow drop. Signature Rodriguez goes for a cover, gets a 2 count. Rodriguez then avoided a moonsault and turned Sky inside out with a clothesline for a 2. Io, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, wipes out Perez with a suicide dive on the outside. That landed beautifully. And then she went for one on Rodriguez on the other side of the ring. But Rodriguez rolled through and caught Io through the ropes. She rolled through, had her in a fall-away slam position, and lawn darted her into the steel post. She then goes back in the ring with Io. She sets up for a Tejana bomb to finish her off. Io countered, and she hits another bullet train. Io goes up top, goes for over the moonsault, and that was enough for the 1, 2, 3. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez then 2-on-1 attack Io Sky after the match. Asuka didn't come out. Io didn't come out, or rather, Kairi didn't come out to help Io. So Io is not being helped by Asuka and Kairi. Instead, Rhea Ripley comes out to help Io Sky. She ran out to make the save. She joined in. They worked together, and they took out the ladies of the Judgment Day. This actually was pretty decent for Raquel Rodriguez. It got better after the commercial break. It was a little clunky before the commercial break, but they settled into a nice match. And we got Rhea Ripley helping her friend Io Sky against the ladies of the Judgment Day. So no Asuka and no Kairi. They listened. They did the right thing. Io told them last week to stay in the back. They didn't listen. They wanted to come out and help, and instead they ruined Io beating Roxanne last week. This week, Io tells them, I need to do this on my own, and they listen and respect Io's wishes. So out comes Rhea, because they listened to Io. So Rhea helps Io. You can see where the tension is now, because Rhea thinks that the Kabuki Warriors should have come out when obviously Io was being double teamed by Raquel and Roxanne. Where were you? What were you doing? Why did I have to go out there and help your friend, my friend? Where the fuck were you? So there's clearly something brewing here with all four of these women, and I very much like it. Jackie Rudman. She interviewed LA Knight before LA Knight could really even say anything. CM Punk walked in. She said, Seth always has a plan B. LA Knight says, I don't care if it's plan C, plan B, plan A, it doesn't matter. CM Punk walks in. LA Knight asks, what do you want? Punk asks Redman to leave and leave them one-on-one so they can talk out their differences. LA Knight said, no, don't go nowhere. You do your job. You can stay here. Punk says they don't like each other. Knight says it's not about liking you, it's business. And after you meddled in both of my title matches, Punk said they need cohesion with Jay to get to Clash in Paris. Punk says he and Jay won't make it to Clash if they don't get on the same page with them. Knight says he's going to be standing tall with the WWE title in his hands. It's not going to be you, it's going to be me, with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah. So, again, tension between LA Knight and CM Punk. They need to be on the same page, but not in Paris. It's every man for himself. Backstage, Rhea Ripley. Ripley apologized to Io for going out there and saving her. Io thanked her. Asuka and Kyrie then walked in. Asuka asked why Io is okay with Rhea intervening, but not them. Ripley and Asuka then argued because Ripley wanted to know, well, where were you? Why did I have to go out there? Sky yelled for everybody to stop yelling, stormed off frustrated, and she walked down the hall, and you could hear her as she walked into the distance, just still slamming doors and screaming. Asuka then told Ripley in a very stern manner, stay out of our business. Asuka walked away frustrated. Kyrie stood very saddened by her friends just kind of falling apart here. And she went to go check again on Asuka. Everybody is trying to argue and stand up for Io. Everybody wants to be Io's friend. There's a lot of miscommunication going on here. They don't know what they have to do to make sure everybody's on the same page and lines are getting crossed. This is obviously leading to Asuka becoming ultimately frustrated and jealous that Io is trusting Rhea when her family is Asuka and Kyrie. Her road partners are Asuka and Kyrie, former stablemates in Asuka and Kyrie, but she has found peace and solace and friendship in Rhea Ripley. Why Rhea, but not us? Why is it okay for Rhea to come help you? You don't say nothing to her. You say thank you to her, and then you scold us for trying to help you beat Roxanne Perez, where it was clearly a 2-on-1 advantage last week. It's not the most groundbreaking story, but I like this because all of these women have something to do with each other. You got real life instances here with Kyrie, Asuka, and Io, former stablemates. They are obviously lifelong friends. And then you got Rhea, who we know what she's done with Io this year and the battles that they've had for the Women's Championship. One of the best WrestleMania matches of all time this year. One of the best matches of the year at Evolution in the main event, one-on-one for the Women's Championship. There's history there. Rhea obviously hasn't even beaten Io. That's another key part of their history and their story. I like where this is going. Again, like I said, it's not breaking any ground. It's not fucking Academy Award winning storytelling. But there's issues here and there's history between all of these women. So when you get to where we're going with this and you get to things exploding, which it looks like things are going to be headed towards a tag team match, whether that happens in Paris or not, I don't know. I do think that this is going to be a fun ride just based on the history between all four of these women. Now, I don't know what they do. Where this match takes place, when it happens, I don't know. You would think that WWE is going to do one of two things. WWE, one, could include all these women in some sort of multi-woman match for the women's championship, which Naomi vacated. I don't know what that means for Stephanie. Stephanie is the number one contender. She earned a number one contender match, a one-on-one match with the champion. So I don't know what they're going to do as far as that is concerned. WWE is not going into Paris and leaving Rhea Ripley off that show. I do think that they may hold back on the women's championship as plans obviously changed with Naomi now. And I think we get this tag team match on that card in Paris. I do think that we get Rhea and Io versus Asuka and Kairi in Paris. That's what I would do. I'm not sure if they're going to go and do that, but I just can't see them leaving Io or Rhea Ripley off of that Paris card because just look at how over they are. That would be criminally insane to leave Rhea Ripley off that card. So we'll see what happens. I like what's going on here. It's simple storytelling, and it all makes sense, and there's a lot of history there, which is going to mean there's going to be a lot of emotion in that match, and that's what I'm here for. Penta. He went one-on-one with Xavier Woods. This is not really the most exciting thing for Penta to be doing on this show, but at least he's getting television time, huh? We go into a commercial break about 90 seconds into the match, which is protocol for WWE. We pick it up after the break. Penta made a comeback after the break. He wiped out Xavier and Grayson Waller with a dive over the top rope. Woods came back. Reverse vertical suplex for a cover and a 2 count. The crowd was not too much into this, which I don't blame them. The New Day are ice fucking cold. Penta countered Woods on a roll with a Penta driver. He did not immediately go for the cover. Woods managed to roll up to the ropes and get his foot on the ropes. This allowed Kofi Kingston to put his foot on the bottom rope to break the cover. Penta wiped out Kingston and Waller with a flip dive. And Woods tried to steal a pin with a small package, but Penta kicked out and transitioned into a Canadian destroyer or a Mexican destroyer for a 1, 2, 3 and a pinfall victory over Xavier Woods. Don't know where we're going with this. Penta has who exactly to battle the New Day and Grayson Waller. Now, next week, WWE is going to be in Birmingham, England. They already announced Penta will go one-on-one with Kofi Kingston next week. I don't know where this is going, but I don't exactly care either. I don't. Dominik Mysterio. They showed him getting close to winning the AAA Mega Championship. He came close to winning the Mega Championship. They showed a clip of Dominik Mysterio complaining that AJ Styles cost him the AAA Mega Championship at TripleMania on Saturday, which I thought was a fun watch. Over 4 million views. The biggest TripleMania of all time. It was announced that Dominik Mysterio, the current Intercontinental Champion, would wrestle Vikingo, the AAA Mega Champion, in a one-on-one match at Worlds Collide. He's getting his rematch September 12th at Worlds Collide in Las Vegas. Rey Mysterio walked in, taunted Dominik. And Dominik is getting his rematch, as Corey Graves went on to reiterate at Worlds Collide. We'll do it all over again. Awesome. I don't know when we get that AJ Styles IC title match with Dominic Mysterio. That should be on the priority list relatively soon. I could see Dominik beating Vikingo and becoming the AAA Mega Champion at Worlds Collide. I could. I thought they were going to do it at TripleMania. But they had Vikingo, who is the AAA Mega Champion, win at their biggest show of the year and maybe drop the title to Dominik at one of their shows. We'll see what happens. Mr. Iguana and Dragon Lee, who had a great showing at TripleMania. Tag team match here. Finn Balor and J.D. McDonough are their opponents. They showed some Philadelphia Eagles sitting front row with the Super Bowl trophy and their very blinged out Super Bowl rings. WWE's got to get that sports nod there, being that they're going to ESPN relatively soon. You guys hear the rumor that WWE may be giving ESPN a test run on September 20th for this unnamed show that WrestleVotes is teasing could be called WrestlePalooza. Yeah. WrestlePalooza on ESPN, headlined by John Cena and Brock Lesnar in Indianapolis at the Bainbridge Fieldhouse on September 20th as they counter-program AEW All Out. Man, they are just... They're doing this, the good old finger to AEW, man. They just keep fucking body shotting them, man. And that one is just a blow to the fucking jaw. Oh, we're just not counter-programming you, man. We're going to be on ESPN to give a little test run for where we're going next year. Gotta love it. All the sickos collectively crying into their fucking teddy bears this evening. Great. Love to see it. Tag team match here. I mean, again, I don't really know where this goes, but clearly we had an interference here. And with the announcement of Dominik and Vikingo, they clearly wanted to add some fuel to that rematch coming on September 12th. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break. Crowd is singing Dominik's song in a very UK-like manner. Dragon Lee and Mr. Iguana wiped out Balor and McDonough with dives as we go into a commercial break. So we get back from the break. McDonough hits Dragon Lee with a Poison Rana. Lee quickly comes back with a Liger Bomb. Mr. Iguana gets a hot tag. And obviously he used La Yesca, his iguana puppet. I guess Philadelphia didn't like La Yesca. Not much of a reaction here in Philadelphia. They reacted to what they reacted to. And whatever they didn't like, they didn't react to. Dragon Lee tagged himself back in. McDonough wiped out Mr. Iguana with an Asai moonsault, which is always beautiful from McDonough. Balor hit Dragon Lee with a sling blade. Dragon Lee comes back with a super kick. McDonough distracted the referee as Dominik grabbed Lee by the leg. This allowed Balor to hit Lee with a drop kick and then set him up for the coup de grace for the 1, 2, 3. How many of you guys bought that Finn Balor puppet that they debuted at TripleMania? What is the puppet's name? Demonetico or something like that? Dominico? That's exactly who it is. Did you guys pay $99.99 for that puppet? Finn Balor puppet? I'd have some questions to ask you if you did. There's always a collector out there that fucking goes crazy for that type of thing, man. Judgment Day wins. After the match, Judgment Day put the boots to Dragon Lee and Mr. Iguana. Dominik cleared the announce table. He was about to inflict more damage, and then out comes Vikingo, the AAA Mega Champion. He attacks Dominic with his belt. Judgment Day then aided Dom, who hit Vikingo with a frog splash, setting up the match for September 12th. Yes, $100 for a puppet. $100 for a puppet that probably cost $9.99 to make. It's crazy. Mr. Iguana here didn't really do too much. He didn't really get much of a reaction. You know, if I'm WWE, I get that they want to push Mr. Iguana after a hot show. They did the same thing last time after his breakout performance at Worlds Collide. The last time they did it, they showed him up on Raw, and they just want to kind of push him on the main roster to really get him over in front of the American audience and get Layeska in front of the American audience so that they could eventually sell Layeska puppets. Bro, you don't need to be so desperate. Like, I understand that you look at him and he's a money-making machine for them. He's over, he's got a good presence, he's got the puppet, but don't make it so blatantly obvious to what you're doing. He doesn't need to be on every Raw after a fucking AAA show, okay? Let it build organically. Let the fans want to see him. The more you throw him in our face, the less we're going to like him. Don't force it. Things will happen naturally. I hate that WWE, when they get their eyes on something, man, they got to beat it over the head. And they just got to fucking lay it into you. Let it breathe. Let him do what he's got to do and let him organically get over in front of the audience. I'm not sure Philadelphia, with these fucking rabid pro wrestling fans, I'm not sure that this was the right type of crowd to put Mr. Iguana in front of. He's a comedy character. He's not a serious professional wrestler. I don't think this was the right audience for him. Jackie Redmond interviewed Becky Lynch and asked why she attacked Natalya last week. Becky Lynch claimed, "We saw the best of Maxine Dupree thanks to her." She was only defending herself when Natalya shoved her. Becky Lynch said Natalya has been wrestling in different promotions to prove herself, but Natalya didn't belong in the ring with her at all. Becky Lynch then welcomed Natalya back to the big time. This match tonight with Becky and Natalya was anything but the big time. It was fucking sleepy time. It's exactly what it was. We got another vignette with Bayley, who said she isn't sure if anything she is saying is making any sense. Then we heard another distorted version of her voice. Ding dong, hello. Evil Bayley. "I don't know what I need," said Bayley. "I don't know what I need." And then we got another distorted version of her voice at the end of this segment. And it said, "How about a hug?" Again, I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know if Bayley is going to just flat out turn heel after realizing that there's nobody there for her and she's basically a loner, or she's going to have a split personality. Why is she dipping into this state of altered consciousness and hearing voices talking to her? How did this become a thing? What is she doing that she's hearing voices in her head? I like these segments. I think they're very well shot. I just don't know where we're going with this. Becky Lynch and Natalya. Maxine and Akira Tozawa are out there with Natalya. This was fucking boring. Oh my goodness, was this fucking boring. Now, I know it's not me because I posed a question on social media. Is it me or is Becky Lynch's theme song a theme song that gets absolutely zero reaction? There's zero reaction when Becky Lynch's theme hits. Not a fucking peep from the live audience. And it's just not in Philadelphia. It's been happening for weeks now. I was hoping that things would get better and things would change, but every time her theme music hits, There's legitimately no reaction. Now, I don't know what it is. I think Becky Lynch has been doing some great work this year with her in-ring and with her character. She's a very good heel. She got a reaction with Nikki Bella a couple weeks ago. So it's not Becky Lynch. So what exactly happened tonight? Her theme music sucks. That's not the only problem, though. Especially if we're talking about tonight. Her theme music genuinely fucking sucks. First of all, I don't know who the Wonder Years are. The only Wonder Years I know is the show with Fred Savage. That's it. And Winnie. That's it. It's the only Wonder Years I want to know. The Wonder Years band? I mean, not my cup of tea, bro. If that's your cup of tea, God bless you, man. It's not my style of music. That style of music does not get my blood going. I'll tell you that right now. Nor is it a pro wrestling theme. It is not a good pro wrestling theme. The problem with these themes is that they are unidentifiable. You know what they usually say when you're a content creator? Especially if you're making like short form content. You have 30 seconds, probably less than that, to hook the viewer on your video. After 30 seconds, if the viewer does not want to watch your video, they will click off. If you don't give them a reason to stay and watch what you're selling them and watch what you're doing, what's the point? You gotta go for that hook right at the top. That's it. You gotta try your best to hook them. Becky Lynch's music does not hook you. None of these themes in WWE hook you. None of them. You go back to the CFO Money era, man. An opening note, you knew who was coming out. You could get a 2 to 3 second sample. You knew who was coming out, bro. A guitar chug, whatever it may be. You knew who was coming out. Those violins in Shinsuke Nakamura's theme, Sami Zayn's theme when he opens, or when he comes out there. That ska music that Sami Zayn comes out to. Whoa! Oh! You know who that is. Bobby Roode's Glorious. Glorious! Everybody knew who that was. Undisputed Era. Shock the System. Everybody knew. Johnny Gargano's Rebel Heart. Baron Corbin's theme, which was fucking great. So on and so forth. Aleister Black. The names just keep on coming out, man. I mean, the CFO Money era was something else as far as theme music. Becky Lynch's old theme, you knew who that was. You knew who that was. Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bayley. You knew who everybody was when they came out. The problem with Becky Lynch's theme song is the hook doesn't come in until after like 30 seconds. So I don't know what they were going for, bro. Listen, I'm not here to listen to music and pretending to be live in a concert. Watching the band play the song on stage. You got such a small window to hook the audience with your theme music to give them a fucking reason to care. The song doesn't get going until 30, 40 seconds in. That's the problem. Just look at the Judgment Day theme song. What is that? What is that? Are we so much in a cost-cutting mode that you refuse to pay Alter Bridge's label, which I believe is Nuclear Blast Records? Are you so to continue using a legit banger song? A great fucking song. Which is not even the best song off that album. But it worked for the Judgment Day. I don't give a fuck what version of the Judgment Day you're watching. That song still fits the Judgment Day. I don't know why they did not secure the rights to that song anymore, and they went Def Rebel. What is the new Judgment Day theme? There's so much dead air. The theme hits. I don't know who's coming out. And then when I see it, there's legitimately a good 10-second span where there's no instruments playing. This is what you constitute as theme music nowadays. What are we doing? There'll be some fucking idiot in the comment section. Oh, that song was made for the first iteration of the Judgment Day. I don't give a fuck. Good music is good music. Music. It's the one thing that really catches everybody first before anything else happens. If you don't got that, you got nothing. Nothing. It's the first sign of getting the crowd. None of these musics, especially Becky's, gets the crowd. They all just stood there like this. This is a shitty song. I don't believe that she made this her theme song. Like, I get it may be special to Becky, but I'll tell you right now, again, this is not a pro wrestling. It's not a pro wrestling theme. It's not. So that's number one. My mic is going in and out. My mic is going in and out? No, it's not. My mic is fine. What the fuck are you talking about? There's legitimately nothing wrong with my microphone. I'm looking at my OBS right now. There's nothing wrong with my microphone. Literally nothing wrong with my microphone. Well, I see YouTube is not it's YouTube. It's YouTube. It's YouTube. I just legitimately seen a message pop up in my YouTube studio. There was no connection for the stream. No connection for the stream. It's YouTube. Don't worry about it. Just refresh and everything will be fine. So that's the number one problem for Becky Lynch and everybody, really. It's not just a Becky Lynch thing. It is a WWE theme music thing. Number two, WWE thinks that putting Becky Lynch in a match with Natalya is going to be some, oh my God, this is going to be a great wrestling match type of deal. You can't put Natalya in a match on Monday night and expect people to care when Natalya has been such an incredibly huge non-factor to the women's division on Monday Night Raw. She is not over. Nobody cares. WWE has not given anybody a reason to care. Natty's doing some great work away from WWE. WWE will not allow Natty, and this is the thing, everybody's like, why can't we see Bloodsport Natty? Why can't we see the Natty that we saw at TripleMania on Monday Night Raw? Because if Natty is that way on Monday night, that would be against WWE and what they want. They want boring Natty. They want Natalya Neidhart. They want the daughter of Jim the Anvil Neidhart out there. They want the Hart Foundation Natty Neidhart out there. They don't want Bloodsport Natty. They don't. Because it's against what they want creatively. If they start to see Natty get over, then it's not going to be good news for Natalya. WWE, no matter who's in charge, if you get over by doing something against them, you are in the wrong. They would never allow Natalya to get over with the Bloodsport gimmick. Never. And I guarantee you, if Natty was on TV more and we got to see a really ballsy, gritty Natty that was completely uncensored, I guarantee you that you'd actually start appreciating Natalya and start wanting to see Natalya on television. So WWE trots out this boring fucking Natalya, and that's what we get. That's what we got. The run that we got with Natty, this Natalya is over. It's dead. It is fucking dead. I don't even know why we even bother. So putting that Natty in the ring with Becky, with her fucking terrible theme music that nobody cares about, and then this boring Natty, this was a recipe for disaster. This whole match was absolutely a snooze fest. Nobody gave a single fuck about what happened here. We'll pick it up after the commercial break. The referee went to go check on Natty. I thought there was a legitimate injury. They tried to play it up that Natalya had a shoulder injury. So she goes into the barricade, into the steel post, and I think into the barricade. Referee went to go check on her. She played it up like there was a legitimate injury. We go to a commercial break. We come back from the break. Becky applies an armbar when they come back. Natalya eventually fought out of it, hit a powerbomb. Natty sold her arm before going for a sharpshooter. Becky Lynch avoided it. Natalya hit her spinning discus clothesline for a cover and a 2 count. Maxine then went to go check on Natalya. So Becky booted Maxine and hit Tozawa with a baseball slide as he went to go check on her. This led to Natalya applying a cradle, which got zero reaction. Nothing. Becky Lynch kicked out, applied a disarmer, and they went for the submission victory with the tap out here. Becky taps out Natalya and wins the match and retains the title. Becky Lynch takes out Natalya and Dupree after the match. She put Dupree in a disarmer. Nikki Bella ran out to make the save, and Nikki laid her out with her rack attack 2.0. Snooze fest. Complete snooze fest. Sheamus. Jackie Redmond tried to interview Sheamus, but they were interrupted by Rusev. They were about to brawl in the back. Officials quickly broke it up, and Adam Pearce, who was so red in the face from yelling, announced that they would settle things one-on-one, and it would be the last time. At Clash in Paris, which is going to be great, Sheamus versus Rusev, and there's a stipulation behind it. It's going to be an old-fashioned Donnybrook match. No DQ. In Paris with that crowd, I think that is going to be a banger after banger after banger. CM Punk, he approached Jey Uso and offered to have his back tonight in the main event against Braun Breaker. This did not go Punk's way, just like it went the same way with LA Knight before. Jey wanted to do this on his own, and he was focused on Clash in Paris. CM Punk said, well, if you need me, I got you. Everybody's getting into their own lane. They all want the world championship. Don't bother me, bro. We're all headed towards the same direction. It doesn't make any sense. We're in that match. We all want the world title. It doesn't matter. Naomi. This was the best part of the entire show. Adam Pearce introduced Naomi. She made her entrance. She was dressed in full ring gear. She gets into the ring. Adam Pearce told Naomi, champ, the floor is yours. This is hard to say, guys. Just take a look at the Tron for me, please. So she has everybody look up at the Titantron. They went back to Stephanie interviewing Naomi and Big Jim on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. Jimmy says that there is a baby on the way. Naomi smiled and said she is pregnant and having a baby. We go back live. Adam Pearce says that he and everyone else are so incredibly happy for Naomi. Congratulations. In typical Naomi, which is why I love this woman, she maintained her heel gimmick. and she yelled at Adam Pearce and said, "This isn't the first time I'm relinquishing a title. This time I ain't handing you shit," she said. She said her hormones are jumping like a disco, and she advised him to get out of her face. Adam Pearce left. She sang the "Hey, hey, nah, 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 goodbye" song to Adam Pearce. She laughed. Naomi said she was about to walk y'all like a dog all year long. But you know, Big Jim, he likes to Netflix and chill, Big Jim, if you know what I mean. Fans chanted, "You deserve it." Naomi said, on the bright side, the bloodline continues. As long as he's not in the MFTs, we'll be fine. She said WWE can do whatever they want for 9 months and change. But when that 9 months and some change is up, she's coming back for her title, perhaps with her baby in her arms. And whoever has the title, you best proceed with caution. Now, the podcast is out now if you guys are going to go listen to it tonight. And I do have a transcript of what happened on that podcast, just to give you guys what the thought process was behind all of this. Following her pregnancy on Raw, WWE announced this special episode of the Stephanie McMahon podcast, 20 minutes long. Her and Jimmy Uso were on the show. The couple revealed that the pregnancy came as a complete shock after a long and difficult journey with fertility issues, which had led them to believe that a natural pregnancy was no longer a possibility. Naomi opened up about her medical history, explaining why she believed a natural pregnancy was no longer possible. To understand how we really got here, you got to understand the whole picture, the medical history. Years later, while a top star in WWE, she faced another major procedure that led to a lengthy, unannounced absence from television during the Thunderdome era. She went on to say, "Early in my career, 2020, we went through another major surgery, which was a myomectomy. That is a removal of fibroids. I had tons and big ones." Jimmy added context how serious the surgery was. He said it was supposed to be like a couple of hours, and she was in there for 6 hours. "Man, I was sitting there losing my brain." Naomi confirmed she was gone for 6 months after that surgery. The effect of these procedures, combined with her age, led them to believe that they would need medical assistance to conceive. It also have, like, a lot of scar tissue, so that affected things, Naomi explained. On top of being older, 37 now, and on top of only having one ovary, we thought for sure that naturally I couldn't anymore. She revealed that she found out she was pregnant just over a week ago while on the road after taking a test mostly to dismiss the possibility. "I found out Sunday on the road a week ago in my hotel room. I had been feeling a little different, just a little weird. Just wanted to take a test to find out and make sure, kind of rule that out, not thinking because it's been a long journey with fertility issues that I've had. So yeah, I just really didn't think it was possible." The surprise news brought on a wave of feelings for Naomi. She says, "I was shocked. I'm shocked now. So many emotions. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm scared." Naomi, who is now 7 weeks along, shared the powerful moments that all her stress and worry subsided. When she saw her baby's heartbeat for the first time, she considered a high-risk pregnancy, but noted that so far everything is looking great. Everything that I was stressing and worrying about in that moment just went away, and I knew that what is ahead of me, there's nothing more important than that now. The couple also discussed the professional implications of the pregnancy, as Naomi was at the height of her career as the reigning WWE Women's World Champion. She vacated the title tonight. No explanation on what's going to happen with the title, Michael Cole did say we would find out more next week. Jimmy Uso explains her initial concerns about her fans and her career momentum. She ain't going to say this, but she felt like she let our fans down, like she felt like there was a step back because she is cooking. She thought about them right off the bat. Jimmy also shared the touching story of telling his 2 children from a previous relationship. After some initial worry about how his daughter, the youngest, might feel, he was moved by her supportive reaction. She said, "Dad, when I told her that we're having a baby and I could tell the smile, she's just like, 'So you all right?' She goes, 'I'm so happy because I think about Trinity.' And she goes, 'She deserves this.' And I just said, 'Man, thank you. I did not expect to hear that.'" Naomi added how much their approval meant to her. "They are my kids before anything, so it was very important to me that they were happy and okay with it." Obviously, she went on to laugh, saying that the bloodline continues. It's amazing, man, you know, how you're an active performer and you're at the height of your career. Legitimately, Naomi is 37 years old and she's at the height of her career. This is the best work the woman has done since she started. She has nailed, and I mean nailed, every single aspect of what she needed to with this heel run. Looking back at it now, I'm glad WWE decided to put the belt on Naomi, because she absolutely deserved a run. Nobody thought it was going to be such an abbreviated run, but she deserved it whether or not she was having a baby or not. As a fan, I'm sad, because what we're getting is Naomi relinquishing the championship. And man, like Big Jim said, she was just starting to cook, man. She didn't even have the fucking burner on, man. She was already getting the fancy pots and pans, and she didn't even start preparing dinner yet. She didn't even get to the fucking point where she's cutting up the vegetables and preparing the fucking meal, bro. She was so early on into this run, and she was already killing it. Heel work, character work, promo work, vibe, aura, all that. She had it all going. So as a fan, I'm sad. But as a human being, I'm incredibly happy to hear their journey and incredibly supportive of what she's going to be going through. If you're a fan of Trinity, if you're a fan of what she's done with the Naomi character, you're not going anywhere, because she's going to come back. Becky Lynch came back. Alexa Bliss came back. And Naomi is going to come back as well. Again, Alexa and Becky all had children, and they are still as prominent as ever. There's no reason why Naomi isn't going to sail that sea as well. She's going to come back, and she's going to be more rejuvenated than ever before. And she's going to slide right back in to where she's walking away now. I've never felt so sad and happy for somebody at the same time. A lot of fans speculated that this was the reason why she's walking away. If there was a reason for her to walk away, this is the reason for her to walk away. The one positive that WWE has created is that in the old administration, it was very, very, very fearful of walking away from your top spot, especially as a champion, for you as a woman to go and want to have a child. Because you'd never know what the current state of that division would be, and if your spot is going to be ready for you and there for you when you get back. WWE has done such an amazing job with their women that I don't think Naomi has anything to really worry about as far as coming back and sliding right back in to where she is now. She'll be right back in that title picture as soon as she comes back. But she's got nothing to worry about as far as the division itself either. WWE could prop up somebody else to take that heel role that, honestly, in my opinion, she was the number one heel on the brand. She was the number one heel, even though Becky's the bigger name. Naomi was the number one heel on Monday Night Raw. WWE has so many different options to take Naomi's spot temporarily as the number one heel on that show. So that's nothing to worry about. But the talent pool, Naomi doesn't have anything to worry about walking away and the division feeling weaker without her there, or disappointing the fans because she let the fans down because the character's been so great, the run was great, the title win was great. She's got nothing to worry about. WWE has set this division up. This is the best women's division in all of pro wrestling. Naomi is going to be an asset when she gets back and add to the greatness that is this division. Nothing is going to happen. I'm glad she is afforded the opportunity to do this now at 37 years old instead of waiting where the odds get worse and worse and worse. I'm glad she's able to do this now. I'm very happy that WWE has afforded her this opportunity and are going to stand in support of her. And I hope the fans do the same. There's nothing to be upset about here. There's nothing to be upset about here. She's going to come back and she's going to be just fine. And we will be here to welcome her back when she is ready. Great spot, great moment. Played up the heel gimmick, even with the pregnancy announcement. She didn't let any of that shit go, man. She talked about it in the Naomi character that we have grown to love under this new heel character. Love it. 9 months is a long time, man. It's a long time. But by next summer, we'll have Naomi back, and she's going to be better than ever. Can't wait. Main event. Before we got to the main event, Judgment Day was walking backstage and out of the arena without Dominik. And then Dominik was actually in the distance where they were walking, and he was chatting with El Grande Americano. They said something in Spanish. El Grande Americano walked away. They asked him what's going on. Dominik said he was making sure the Judgment Day was always on top. And then they looked at Finn Balor, and Finn Balor looked very confused about what was going on. Now, I don't know what that means. I wonder if Dominic Mysterio is the one behind all of these Americanos. I wonder if he's talking strategy with El Grande Americano, and we are getting Dominic Mysterio in a position where he's the man behind all of these Americanos to help him out win the AAA Mega Championship. I don't know. Tall, Grande, and Venti Americano. We didn't see the other two guys, but El Grande was in the main event on Saturday at TripleMania. Great fucking four-way, man. Great four-way. Awesome. Main event was Braun Breaker and Jey Uso. I didn't really... listen, we've seen this match more than a handful of times. I'm just kind of numb to seeing A, Jey in the main event, and B, Jey Uso against Braun Breaker. I'm just done with it. So after 3 minutes, we go into a commercial break. Breaker was jabbing a chair into Jey's ribcage. After we get back from the commercial, Breaker held up a chair as Jey dove through the ropes, and that gave him control, taking out Braun Breaker. Breaker stood on the ring apron, waited for Jey to turn around, leapt off and smashed him with a trash can, knocking him over the table and out to the floor behind the commentary table. That was as we went into a second commercial break. That was the final commercial break of the evening. Jey made a comeback with a spear, some chair shots to the back and the shoulder on Braun Breaker, a spear, and then an Uso splash. He made a cover. Bronson Reed yanked the referee out of the ring at the count of 2, and he hit the referee with his own shoe. There's no DQ. You could do whatever you want. Reed then attacked Jey. LA Knight's music played. He ran to the ring. He knocked Reed out of the ring and then bashed his head into the announce desk and threw him into the ringside steps. Seth attacked LA Knight. CM Punk then came out and went after Seth as Knight stood guard. Seth threw Punk into LA Knight, knocking Knight off the ring apron and crashing through a table. Punk went after Seth at ringside and chased him into the crowd. The match obviously is no DQ, and the match is still going on. Breakker slid a Slim Jim table into the ring. He was bleeding at some point in the match. I don't know if it was from his neck or his ear. I don't know what had happened. But he set up a table in the corner. Jay super kicked him twice. Breakker then falls on the table. As Jay super kicked him, he just falls and flops on top of the table. Bronson Reed jumps onto the apron and knocks Jay off the top rope to the outside. Fans in Philly start chanting OTC, OTC. Roman's music plays. He doesn't come down the aisle. Instead, Braun Breaker froze when he heard Roman Reigns' music, so he wondered where he was coming out. He didn't see him, so he proceeded to do the runaround spear that he was going to do to Jey Uso. And out of nowhere, Roman Reigns comes and intercepts Braun Breaker mid-spear and spears him on the outside. Reigns then gave Reed a Superman punch. Jay super kicked Breaker again. Breaker once again landed on the table. Jay goes to the top rope. Uso splash off the top rope through Breaker through the table. 1, 2, 3. And Jey Uso beats Braun Breaker with interference after interference after interference after interference after interference. WWE basically told you, you're complaining about the DQ endings? Fuck you and your DQ complaints. They gave you DQs while it was all legal tonight. It's basically what they did. They coded all the DQs in legality tonight. Yes, Reigns is back again. After he got taken out a couple of weeks ago via 3 tsunamis, he comes back. The man of many returns is Roman Reigns. It's the same fucking return every single time we see him. But at least tonight we got the confirmation. It will be Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed, I'm assuming for the shoes, at Clash in Paris, one-on-one. And I do believe that it will happen because Roman Reigns said, I'll see you in Paris. So yes, whether or not they announced it on social media, I don't know yet. But I mean, they basically confirmed that that match will be taking place in Paris, at Clash in Paris. Reigns appeared unadvertised. Obviously, he helped Jay because family, playing up the narrative that Roman and Jay are tight, even after Paul Heyman accusing Roman Reigns of stabbing family members in the back. They're showing solidarity. And everybody was there to help Jey Uso fend off the Vision as Monday Night Raw came to a close. Again, it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a bad show by any means. It just lacks. It lacks heart. It lacks vision. It's too simple. It's too safe. They've obviously kind of settled into what they want to do on Monday night. There's no risks. There's no real excitement. It's just a 2.5-hour pro wrestling show in the safest possible way. That's all it is. The one complaint I have is I need this group, this Rollins group, I need them to have an ultimate goal. What is their vision? What is their reason? Like, what are they looking to achieve? After they won the world championship, what is next? Can you fucking tell me? So at least we have like a foundation of where we're going here instead of the same thing every single week. They injure Roman. He's out for 2 weeks. He comes back in some monumental fucking return. And we got the baby faces coming out there to save the other baby faces as they battle the Vision leading into the pay-per-view. What is the vision of the group? What is the goal of the group? I need them to lay it out for me. It just can't be, we got to eradicate and eliminate Roman Reigns and CM Punk and LA Knight. That's not an end goal. I need something. I need something more. Not a bad show, but the simplicity of WWE, man, It's not exciting. It's not doing anything to get my blood going, man. That's all I could tell you. Thank you guys for a great stream tonight. We are going to get into your super chats in just a second. We had upwards towards 2,800 people in here on a Monday night. Thank you guys very much for that. We are rocking and rolling into the end of August. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. And question of the night. For everybody in the comment section, who do you think WWE should belt next as the next WWE Women's Champion on Monday Night Raw, now that Naomi has vacated the title? Go check out all the content on the channel, including Friday's great video where we talked about the TNA WWE partnership and why WWE is counter-programming AEW the way that they are, and what the meaning behind TNA moving to Wednesday nights really means, as they are rumored to be going head-to-head with Dynamite on Wednesday. Also, today's Karrion Kross video is live as well. Go check that out. The real reason why Karrion Kross is not back with WWE. Tonight we are sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. All you need to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. I wonder if Big Jim used a Blue Chew. You know, Naomi talked about Netflix and chill, man. I wonder if that means Big Jim popped himself a Blue Chew. Now, I don't think he needs one, but I mean, they got to call him Big Jim for a reason, right? You can't achieve Big Jim status without Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. Blue Chew is a unique online service that provides the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. Comes in a chewable tablet, fraction of the cost. And the process is very simple. You're going to sign up at BlueChew.com. You're going to consult with one of their online licensed medical providers. And once you get approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days. No questions asked. It's all done online. It's the best part. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. No waiting in the waiting room at the doctor's office. No awkward conversations with some four-eyed geek behind the counter. It's all prepared and shipped directly to you. Made in the USA, shipped to you discreetly. So make sure you guys go and achieve Big Jim status with BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. I want to thank them for sponsoring the podcast right here on Off the Script. Super Chats, get them on in. Get them on in. Baltimore Jackson with a $4.99 starts us off. Cross never recovered from the botch from Vince's creative administration. I'm not surprised by his situation. No, he didn't. From that point on, the Karrion character was dead. Never recovered. Cody Snyder with a $2 super chat. He's still alive. Braun on Tommy Dreamer, yeah? Yeah. Michael Krause with a 20 months. JD, OTS, I hope everyone had a great weekend. JD, I'm glad you got some rest. Thank you for everything you do for me and the OTS family. You will always be the GOAT. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you very much, brother. Best in the world, Matt. 11 months. And this guy's coming in with a $10 super chat. 11 months here with the OTS family. Love you all on the chat here. And the energy you give off in the chat always. Here is to 1 year. Thank you, brother. No surprise to hear about Danhausen having his contract extended in AEW due to injury. Wonder if Pepsi Phil is already talking to the execs in WWE about bringing him in to sell merchandise. Bro, a Danhausen and Mr. Iguana tag team is going to fucking sell so much merch. Now, I don't really care for it, but, you know WWE is going to do something along those lines. If they could make money, they will bring him in. And I don't know if you guys seen Danhausen's socials. He got CM Punk a new t-shirt. It's very coincidental that that social media clip aired this weekend, and then we come to find out on Monday that Tony extended him due to injury time. I will always have a problem with adding injury time on top of someone's existing deal to keep them there longer than they want and longer than Tony Khan needs, longer than AEW needs. It's fucked up, it's pathetic, and Tony Khan is fucking evil. He did it out of spite, and he did it purposely. He did it because he knew exactly where Danhausen was going to go. And he did it to ultimately take a cheap shot at CM Punk. Ron Davis with 46 months. What's good, JD? My hot take is Io Sky just doesn't excite me. Her movements in the ring feel sloppy. Timing is off a lot of her moves. Brother, you are watching a completely different show, man. You have the right to your opinion, but she wrestled Raquel Rodriguez tonight, man. There's obviously a huge difference between Raquel and Io. Io did what she could. It still ended up being a good TV match. Phil Luminati with a 5. If Naomi is dressed like that at home, it's no wonder it's Jimmy's fault. She's relinquishing the title. A big Jim, bro. He did not proceed with caution, huh? Joey Taylor with a $2 super chat. Raw 5 out of 10. Roman with a spear out of nowhere. Yep. Big Steve with a 199. It's my birthday. OTS family just turned 29. What was it, 39? I don't want to give Big Steve over here 10 more years. You got a long way to that 10 years, brother. Happy birthday, man. Everybody in the chat, birthday cake emojis for our guy Big Steve, man. Michelle with a $5 super chat. I love Seth and his work, but I'm really starting to miss Gunther as champ. I feel like WWE's dropping the ball with Seth's title reign and his group already. It doesn't feel big. That's the problem. When Roman had the bloodline, it felt big. There was just big, irreplaceable energy. This group doesn't feel big. I don't know what they do, where they go, who they add to make it feel big. I just don't think that's possible. Cornell with a $4.99. Big Jim buried Naomi. He's a hater. Toy A Nice with a $2 super chat. Congrats to Big Jim and Naomi. Happy for them. Furious Nation with the 46 months. What's up, JD? Happy Monday, brother. Happy 8-year anniversary to the Undisputed Era, baby. Man, do I miss that group. Man, do I miss that fucking group. I wonder if Triple H would even bring them back, man. If Adam Cole's contract's up, O'Reilly and Strong's contracts are up, I wonder if he would bring them back. Man, that's a huge what if, you know? I love them. They were fucking great. Blurred the Nerd with a $5 super chat. I blame it on Cody Rhodes. He was giving Naomi all that free Wheatley's vodka. This really has been the biggest year of Naomi's life. It is. It is. Furious Nation with a $4.99. I remember when I was at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 live, sitting near front row and witnessed the debut of Adam Cole, baby. Truly special. Man, that was a great fucking show. What was the main event of that show? What was that? Andrade and Drew McIntyre? Furious also with another $4.99. Congrats to Naomi and Jimmy Uso. What an incredible year it's been for Trinity. I'm very happy for both her and Big Jim. The Illuminati with a 5. Naomi's bloodline continues comment was both fire and hilarious. Furious with another $5. What is your honest take on Chris Jericho returning to WWE rumors? Not sure if he and Triple H still have beef, but do you think they could bury the hatchet? Of course they could. And they will. And they will. Jericho, listen, bro. Jericho back in the WWE is still a money-making machine. You don't think Jericho wants to be back in WWE with all of everything that's going on right now? He'll come back to WWE. He'll work a part-time schedule. He'll work with a couple people he still hasn't worked with yet. He'll reinvent the wheel again like he usually does. He'll have an actual writing team to help guide him, unlike fucking Tony Khan and whatever his writing team is in AEW that gave us the horrific learning tree. Talk is Jericho could become a part of the WWE Fanatics podcast family. Bro, as long as he comes back with Judas, that's all I care about. It could be a real cleansing moment for Jericho, who in the last few years has just felt stale and boring and absolutely just disastrous for television. Plus, you don't think AEW is looking at the Jericho situation? I guarantee you Tony Khan would love and do anything to bring Chris Jericho back. But I honestly think Chris Jericho's mind is already made up. And if Jericho is already making up his mind to leave AEW when he is the legit OG, like, we're not talking about fucking Hook or Wardlow. Bro, Jericho is the first ever AEW champion. He is the reason, one of the primary reasons AEW even exists. You don't think Triple H wants to take that away from Tony Khan? If Jericho leaves, what does that signal? What does that mean? What does that put into the air? If Jericho is leaving as a legit day oneer, what does that mean for AEW, bro? It means that it's not the same company that it used to. Jericho does not want to retire there. He doesn't want to be there anymore. What does that mean? What does that say to you? What does that mean for Tony Khan? What does that speak of in regards to Tony Khan? What does it mean for that locker room? A leader in that locker room, a voice in Tony's ear walking away. It's ultimately what Jericho's going to want. Is he going to rob Tony more of his money just to stay and be unhappy? And do what? He's already got that vibe in AEW that nobody wants him on television. He knows he needs change. That change is coming in the way of Triple H taking him back. Absolutely. Imagine that. Jericho, it was rumored that Jericho and Punk were going to feud during that whole CM Punk Bucks issue. There was a rumor that that was one of his first major programs upon returning. Imagine we get that in the big 2026. My prediction is Jericho will be in the Royal Rumble. I think he will be in the Royal Rumble. Best in the world, Matt, with a $5 super chat. Congrats to Konosuke Takeshita on winning the G1 this year. Dude is a legit stud and should win the IWGP title by Wrestle Kingdom. Yes, I agree. But what is left of New Japan? I read today that this was the lowest attended G1 climax of all time. Man, Tony Khan is not only killing AEW, but he's also killed New Japan Pro Wrestling. Interesting. And I find it funny how Evil, there was a report from Fightful that Tony Khan is not a big fan of Evil in New Japan. And then we come to find out that Konosuke Takeshita beat Evil in the finals of the G1 Climax. I wonder how much influence Tony Khan did have over that outcome. Sidro, the $2 super chat. Big Jim, 5 letters, 1 word. Skeet. Yeah. Wrestle Mess with an 8 months. Cheers. Thank you, brother. Robbie with a $4.99. I know a lot of people want to see Stephanie win the title, but she deserves a major feud for her big win on a major show. My prediction is Asuka. I could see that too. Zeno with a $10 super chat. JD, describe the ruthless aggression era in 3 words. I want to say Lesnar, Cena, and Orton. Or Angle. Sidro with a $2 super chat. Samoans got their women. Samoanin. Proceed with caution. For Illuminati with a $5 super chat. I can dig that storyline with Roxanne as champ versus Liv. Yeah. Yeah, they should absolutely start visiting that. Jay Barker with a $10 super chat. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Just got home from work. My heart has been really heavy. My dog died last night. He wasn't eating and he was throwing up his water. We got him back in 2012. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I'm very sorry to hear that, man. Let me get some prayer emojis for our guy Jay Barker in the chat, man. Chris with the $4.99. What's up, JD? Question for you. Would you give Stephanie Vacates the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble? She gets a WrestleMania moment next year. It's too early to say, man. Stephanie's a good choice. Liv is my front runner right now. RM Monster with a $9.99. And since Io was champion prior to Naomi and Roxanne has a victory over Io, make a title match between them for next week's Raw, then have the winner face Stephanie in Paris. I could see that. It's an idea. I don't know exactly what they're going for, but I could see it. Lewis with a new membership. Thank you, Lewis. Basic with the 29 months. WWE is corny. They have become a sideshow attraction. I just can't anymore. The booking for the normies is killing the show. Yeah. Like I said, bro, it's too safe. It's too fucking safe. Too simple. It doesn't... WWE creative doesn't get you to think anymore. You know? Scotsy with a $1.99. Got my tickets for Alter Bridge in Scotland, 326. You're a smart man, brother. You're a smart man. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Also heard it might be over the limit. Heard over the limit. WrestleVotes is saying it's going to be a WrestlePalooza. I don't know what that means. I think it was just a play on words, hopefully. Can you imagine a modern day PLE called WrestlePalooza? I think it's Indianapolis over the limit. I think they go race car indie themed with it. $2 super chat, thank you, brother. Dalton Meister with a 5. I think people are missing the possibility of Liv coming back and them putting the title on her instead. Not sure how she's doing with her injury, though. Yeah, I have not heard anything about Liv. The prognosis was she could be out up to 6 months. Whether or not she's well ahead of schedule, nobody knows. Mark of Kane with 32 months. I thought the live mic to the kids added realness. I think it's good to take risks, go off script sometimes for added realism. They were harmless. Sure. I wouldn't do that with some fat slob who's 30 years old, who's got an obsession with fucking half the divas, the women's locker room. You know? Best in the world, Matt, with a $10 super chat. Since Tony is such a fan of old ECW, why not counter program all out with a classic ECW pay-per-view name? W taking their pettiness to another level here. They like to keep rubbing it in. Bro, I could absolutely see them doing an old ECW name, which would be WrestlePalooza. That would be hilarious. We may get that announcement tomorrow. I heard it was going to be sometime this week. They were going to announce that. Because Lesnar is advertised for 2 SmackDowns leading into that September 20th PLE. Phil Illuminati with a $2 super chat. We need to have Natty become Bloodsport Natty. And a $5 super chat. He says, Becky needs some legit competition. Otherwise, her IC title reign will be mid at best. Yeah. I agree. Cornell Bryant with a 199. Kayfabe isn't dead. Thanks, Naomi. Boss Top with a 199. Paul just managing Braun or the Vision storyline. I'd probably just take Paul Heyman managing Braun Breaker, honestly. Isn't Heatwave an NXT show? I think Heatwave is an NXT show. Phil Illuminati with a 2. It lacks spontaneity. I can't pronounce that word. I'm fucking tired, bro. Yes, it does. Yes. It very much does. $20 super chat for Illuminati. This 20 is for all the drinks you need for your Destiny grind. Just hit 425 myself. Brother, I am about to hit 380. I think. No, not 380. I think I'm... What am I? I don't even know what my light level is. Man, I'm fucking tired, bro. What is my light level? I think I'm 370 something. 373? If my... Oh, yeah, 377. I'm 377 light. That's what I am right now. I'll probably do a couple of solo missions, solo ops. Yeah, 377. It's awful. I just want to get to the 390 so I could do the last Grandmaster I have to do. I hate that they fucking lock them behind all the... I just want my regular Grandmasters back, bro. Zero. JD, quick thoughts on TripleMania. Fun. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself because I didn't have to cover the show or write notes. Had a good time with it, and that main event was great. CT's Finest with a new membership. Thank you, CT. Illuminati with a 5. To answer your question, I have 2 choices. 1A would be Roxanne leading a feud with Liv. 1B would be heel Asuka leading to a feud with Io. Either one of those. I might make a Jericho video tomorrow, depending on how I feel. DJ Iffy with a 10. I'm dying on that LA Knight hill. Glad to see him in the scene. Yeah. I enjoy LA Knight. CT's Finest with a 5. I know Carmelo's on SmackDown, but what do you think of him joining the Vision? I'd love it. I think it's either going to be Ethan Page or Austin Theory, though. Or Austin Theory, though. I do. Ethan Page or Austin Theory. Or both. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. It's my birthday as well. Enjoying a nice cold Guinness here in the OTS venue. Thanks for the hours of entertainment. Hashtag still want cross. Happy birthday, brother. Let me get some birthday cake emojis in the chat for our guy, Captain Solo, who is a Mustang VIP here on the channel. DJ Iffy with 24 months. Big Jim has good taste, to be honest. Also, this month is 2 years already. I don't believe it. 24 months, brother. Thank you. Lauren with a 2. Happy for Naomi. Just wish her reign was longer. She'll be right back after 9 months. I'm not really too concerned about it. Captain Solo with a 2. Would love another Punk vs. Jericho feud. We may get it. Furious Nation with a $4.99. Whoever or wherever the Undisputed Era's AEW deals are up, I'm very sure Triple H and HBK would love to have them back. Adam Cole never wanted to leave WWE in the first place. No, he didn't. There's nothing for him in AEW. I think AEW is honestly just a bad place for him. I genuinely think it's a bad place for him. Hollywood guy with a $2 super chat. Jericho needs to bring back the list ASAP. I would love that. I think that'd be great. Boss Top of the 199. Hold up. Jericho as the Ric Flair of the Vision? No. Matt Fisher with a $9.99. A blonde goes into a nearby store and asks a clerk if she can buy the TV in the corner. The clerk looks at her and says, "That's not a TV. It's a microwave." Thank you, Matt. It's no Sidro, but thank you for your attempt. And Major with a $4.99. Liv and Roxanne might be the Raw WrestleMania title match after she wins the Rumble. Rhea and Io doesn't need a title at Mania. They don't. They don't. Asuka or Roxanne, get my vote. I'm going for Roxanne. And I'm getting the hell out of here, man. Thank you guys for a great stream. Appreciate you guys very much. Appreciate you guys very much. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and the Cameo. Make sure you guys check out all the content on the channel. There is plenty of it. Including Friday's video. Including today's video on Karrion Kross. 2 great discussions with 2 great videos. Go check that stuff out. If you got time, subscribe to the second channel as well. Link down below. Clips and highlights go up over there when I feel like it. Hit that thumbs up. Always great to hit the thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. Leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell for notifications as well. Let me know what you thought of the Naomi announcement and what you would do with the Women's Championship. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Tuesday Night Titans with the Solid Monster. Thank you guys for a great Monday. I'll see you live tomorrow for TNT.